am doing well, and how are you?
I'm good.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Everybody doing great? Yes?
Yeah.
Happy Black Mother Breastfeeding Week. Do we recognize that that's what this is?
Yes.
It really is. It is Black Mothers Breastfeeding Week, and I just received Brianna's video. I want you all to try to do individual videos to send to us on the breastfeeding phone, so I can give them to Ms. Freeman, because she wants to play 2 each week on our social media page, okay? Because we want people to know that Black women do breastfeed. We did then, and we do now. So that is so very, very important. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Bosman. She's going to talk to us, give us a little history on Black women breastfeeding.
Karan is on.
Hey, Karan, how are you? Can you hear us? Awesome, awesome. Brianna, hello, hello. Ms. Bosma, I'm going to turn it over to you so we can get a little bit of history on why we do what we do. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go around individually, and we're going to talk about what our breastfeeding experiences is from the perspective of Black women. Okay? Turn it over to you, Ms. Bosma. Let's roll.
Well, first of all, we would like to say happy Black Breastfeeding Week. This is really, really exciting to know that many mothers all over the nation participating in Black breastfeeding. Of course, this isn't anything new for us, because we as Black women have been breastfeeding ever since we birthed the earth. Of course, we birthed the earth and we birthed the babies, and therefore we have that what we call chocolate gold milk. And I have to say that I am so excited to see so many Black women breastfeeding. And I am so excited to be a part of such wonderful women that share their experiences breastfeeding, and also share their experience with their daughters and their husbands and their mothers, because it is not just about us. Culturally, we have to pass it down. We have to pass it down to our children, and especially we have to pass it down to our girls, our infant girls, because they have to actually see us breastfeeding. We can talk it and we can walk it, but it has to be a part of our culture. They have to see it. They have to feel the breast. They have to see the breast. They have to see the milk coming out of the breast. And I am, again, so excited to say that we are definitely very positive impact in the community. I, of course, breastfed all 5 of my children. I was either pregnant or breastfeeding for 14 years. And I must say, I am so glad that I had that experience. My mother breastfed me. My mother's mother breastfed me. My mother was delivered by a midwife. And I just want to mention that midwifery is on the rise, and this is an excellent way to begin your breastfeeding career. Okay, Karan is on, and I would like to say, how are you, Karan? I can't hear you. Okay, I can't hear you. Can you hear? Can you hear her, Renata?
I just unmuted her. Try it now.
Try it now. She is muted.
I'm trying to unmute her.
There you go. Okay.
No,
Okay, Nikki. You are in the motherly way, and we're waiting within the next 2 or 3 weeks for you to have a baby. And you have been with us for quite a while, and we started our journey together, Mommies, Babies, Bellies, and Daddies, along with you on your breastfeeding adventure. How long did you breastfeed your daughter? Nikki?
I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to, Nikki?
She's on mute.
Yeah. Get it? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I just asked a question, Nikki.
I was having trouble hearing everyone.
Okay. How long did you breastfeed your daughter?
Well, I breastfed all three of them. And with Isabella, I breastfed her. She's almost 2. And we're
Are you,
still breastfeeding.
you still breastfeeding and you're pregnant also?
Yes.
And can you share what type of experience you've had breastfeeding your daughter?
Well, it's a bonding experience. It's that connection. Being able to have that connection, that bonding experience that we are able to connect at any given time is mommy-daughter time.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. And are you planning on breastfeeding this one you're gonna have within the next month?
Oh, yes. I'm going to continue breastfeeding. Tiana, my oldest, I breastfed her for 2 years.
Oh wow.
Israel, I breastfed him for 1. And Isabella, it's current. And when I have this one, yep, it'll be all 4 of them.
Okay. So so financially, do you think you saved a lot of money?
Oh, yeah. And I never had to use the bottle.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is wonderful. Okay, Karan, can you explain to us your
I was
breastfeeding experience?
exclusive with all of them.
Okay, exclusive. Okay. Exclusive means that she never gave them a bottle. She just breastfed them. Okay. Karan, can you hear me? I can hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear Renata?
No, I'm trying to figure out why, because it says mute, but when I click unmute and then I click the microphone, I'm not getting it through. Can you type in? Can you type it in? Yes, type it in for us.
Well,
In the chat. Let me see. I'm gonna send
Karan,
something out.
Karan is a new mom. She has a beautiful baby girl, her and her partner. And I would like to say that her experience that I've shared with her was a very, very positive experience as far as breastfeeding was concerned.
Thought I heard something. Can you type it? Okay, Brianna, we're going to unmute you if you can unmute and share your experiences.
Well, breastfeeding for me has been great. I mean, like the best, definitely it takes a lot of discipline and commitment because especially when they're newborn, you're up like every hour or every hour and a half in the middle of the night. But I think it's beautiful. I mean, I think it's more beautiful than a lot of people around me do. I often get told I should cover up when I breastfeed in public, or I remember I was at family events and my aunt put a napkin over me and said that it was inappropriate because there were people's husbands here. And I told her, well, then they need to take that up with their husbands if they're watching me because this is natural. I don't feel the need to ever cover myself when I'm in public because it's not sexual to me. And it's kind of, my babies be difficult underneath them covers trying to breastfeed. It never works for me. So I'm very comfortable with breastfeeding in public and not covering myself because to me it's not about a breast. And if Victoria's Secret can have all their breasts out, I can have my breasts out too because I'm feeding my baby. So my experience has been great. I've been bitten. I've had my nipple broke about 5 times and we got through it. It just took some adjustment and some learning, but even just the thought of choosing formula or bottle feed my baby just doesn't feel right because, I mean, parenting is a sacrifice. It's a commitment and not everybody has the ability to. So I feel like I'm just taking it for granted if I choose to do that with my child when there are women who would pay thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to do what my body does naturally. So For me, it's been great. It can be hard, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I plan on breastfeeding all my children because my boyfriend wants more, and he a good man, so he can get some more. So that's fine.
He
But
absolutely is.
I want to breastfeed them all, and especially my daughter, because like I said, having my own family members kind of make me want to hide my breastfeeding, makes me want to even teach her even more to not hide it, because it's not something that should be done in secret, that should be hidden. I mean, white women want our breast milk. Why are we ashamed of what our bodies can do? It's just not sexual, and I feel like we shouldn't look at it that way at all.
All right, awesome, awesome. Lynetta, can you hear us? You wanted to unmute your mic and join the conversation? There you go, speak.
Okay.
Awesome. Welcome back.
Hi.
You want to share your experiences of breastfeeding?
I didn't get a chance to breastfeed that long with the twins, but I did for a few weeks. It wasn't as easy as I thought it would be, but 3 weeks is better than nothing. I'm looking forward to doing it again though.
Absolutely, it absolutely is. So how did you manage that having twins?
It
Even
was
for
so
3
hard.
weeks?
I was in school.
I remember.
And, I was going through a lot, so it was hard. And I have other kids that are older, so that was my first time. So I just gave up on it. And that was that. So I have more understanding of it now, and more knowledge with breastfeeding, how important it is. And so I'm just gonna keep working on it. You know, I think I had issues with my nipples as well.
Right.
And so
Right.
yeah, I was like, no, I can't do this. It was like real sore and tender, and it was painful. So I just said I couldn't do it.
Yes.
And then I never did it again, but I'm good now. That's why I came back.
Absolutely. We're happy to have you back. And when are you due? When are you going to deliver?
I have a C-section around the 28th of September.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
you and Nikki are right around the same due date. Although looking at Nikki, I think Nikki may go any day now, but you all are around the same due date. So we're here absolutely for you. I'm gonna try Karan again. Can you speak a little bit, Karan? Not yet.
I want to talk about Lynette's birth. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I remember your birth very, very well. As a matter of fact, I was looking at some pictures the other day when you delivered your twins. And when you first delivered your twins, initially you did breastfeed and you had twins and you had some issues. One of your babies had low body temperature, and we took that baby and we wrapped that baby because the father was there. And we took the baby, and the baby bonded with the father. We wrapped the baby in the chest of the father and put the blanket around, and put the blanket around the father, and that brought that particular baby's body temperature up. In the meantime, while we was working to bring up that infant's body temperature, you was initially trying to breastfeed, and I was assisting you to breastfeed, and it was such a beautiful. Yeah, I thought that it was a beautiful sight. So after you breastfed that one, gave him that gold milk, you initially breastfed the other one. So you did, initially breastfeed those twins. I do remember that.
I did. Yeah.
Absolutely. So having thinking about this being Black Breastfeeding Week, what does that, when we hear about that, what does that mean to you? What does it mean to you to have a week that they're celebrating Black women breastfeeding? What does that mean?
That's exciting. We have the opportunity to do something that a lot of people can't do as moms. Some moms have to buy, milk, even buy breast milk,
Yes. Yes.
I'm excited about it.
just before we started the Zoom, I was doing some research again on wet nursing and what that really meant, you know, back in slave days. Does anybody know the history of wet nursing? As slaves, women of color used to breastfeed the slave owners' babies. And they did so because a lot of the slave owners' wives or the women that they encountered thought breastfeeding was dirty. They thought it was nasty and thought it was messy, and they didn't want it to be a part of that. So because they felt that breastfeeding was negative, they figured they would give it to the slave to do, to care for their children. Because if you look back in history, children of color, babies of color, they were very healthy because they were breastfed babies. And consequently, I believe the wives to the slave owners, they wanted their children to be just as healthy, but they didn't want to deal with what was called the guesswork or with the messiness. They looked at breastfeeding as something messy. But breastfeeding isn't anything messy. It's natural. It's natural. So knowing, hello, Tanya. So knowing some of that history, what is it that you can attribute to why you decided, we as all women decided to breastfeed their children? So I just want to hear from you. Since Tanya just came on, let's welcome her on board. Just come on. What we're talking about, Tanya, is the importance of course, the importance of breastfeeding, but this being breastfeeding, Black Breastfeeding Week, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to any of you, to all of you, to be African-American women who are breastfeeding their babies? What does it mean to you? What's personal for it for you? Can you hear me, Tanya?
Oh, you was wanting me to speak.
Yes, I want you to speak. Come on in. What does it mean to you to be an African-American woman and breastfeeding your baby as we celebrate each other this week?
It meant that, I was excited that I could provide nutrition to my children. When they initially was born, what I really enjoyed was going to the doctors and seeing that I was the one helping them gain weight and keeping them healthy and things like that.
And why do we think that breast milk is so much more healthy for our babies? Why do we think that? Not because Ms. Bosman, I told you, but why do you really, being that you all have experienced breastfeeding babies, why do you think that it is so healthy for your babies? What have you noticed about your babies as opposed to maybe friends or relatives of yours, or maybe even your mom or your grandmother or your auntie or somebody who may not necessarily agree with breastfeeding, but you decided to breastfeed your baby despite what family members think?
The bonding with my child. Also, healthy skin, not having tummy issues and things like that.
And Nikki, what about you, Nikki? Can you hear me, Nick?
Well,
yeah.
It was just, it's just, to me, I'm still surprised we only get 1 week instead of a whole month.
Yeah, it's actually breastfeeding month, but they only give us 1 week. Yeah.
1 week, and it's sad. Because
well, they just say that it's 1 week.
Women,
Right.
We
And
as
we breastfeed every day.
African-American women, we are supposed to still continuously be celebrated because we know the importance of breastfeeding, and it is for the nourishment that our babies need. Anything we eat, back then we ate healthy. We ate natural foods. We didn't eat all that synthetic stuff. We ate real food. That's why we are considered healthier than other minorities. And due to what we ate, it brought a lot of nutrition to our babies and other babies around us. That's why they wanted us to breastfeed their babies, because what they were eating, it was not healthy in the first place.
Absolutely. Brianna, you touched on your experience with even your family members and what their viewpoint is on breastfeeding. So we kind of talked a little bit about why we do it, why we're celebrating this week. So are you a first generation breastfeeding mom?
My mother breastfed me, and when I first got pregnant with my daughter, I hadn't even thought about whether I was going to breastfeed or formula feed. It never crossed my mind. I was still in the shock phase of being pregnant and dealing with a very difficult pregnancy. But my mother did breastfeed me. She breastfed all of us. She breastfed my sister for 2 years. So she was very encouraging of it, but it was almost, I don't want to use the word hypocritical, because she wanted me to breastfeed. She just didn't want me to do it in public where others could see me. And I just couldn't understand that, because if I can do it behind closed doors, I feel as though I can do it in the open. And of course the law is, close the door, Bonnie. Of course the law is now that you can breastfeed in public and no one can tell you not to, but for someone who's not very strong-minded or very certain in what they want to do, that can send very confusing messages to, you know, just behind the beauty and the normalness and the naturalness of what we're doing. This is natural. It's free, and our bodies make this milk specifically for our babies. I mean, you can take breast milk from one pregnancy and use that on your next baby, but each time you have a baby, that milk is made for this child. So it's, again, not everyone can do it, and it's never a knock or a shame to anyone who can't. But if you can, I just don't see why you wouldn't.
Basma, did you want to add anything to the historical aspects of breastfeeding for Black women, but also the generational aspects? Like, for example, you have daughters. Oh, what is this again? Yes, Black breastfeeding. Let me see. Breast is best. Gotcha. Yay! I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I was going to try to show you all this, but it's probably going to come out backwards. But this is what we have. Black women do breastfeed. We did it then and we do it now. And to hear our voices is your voices. And that's why we want you all to do a brief video and send it out to our phone number this week, so we can get that information out to the general public that, you know, Black women do breastfeed. They breastfeed their babies. They absolutely do. We did it then and we do it now. Miss Basma,
Yeah, I would like to say that, you know, one of the important things that we have to do is we have to support each other as Black women, no matter what type of birth you have. Some of these mothers that's on this call today, they have had C-sections. And although you've had a C-section, that does not mean that you cannot breastfeed. And I just would like to say is we have to get in touch with who we are as women, but not only as women, we have to get in touch with who we are as Black women. Breastfeeding is who we are, and we have to bring this culture back. It is nothing new, you know. 400 plus years when we first came over here in this wilderness in North America, in this jungle, they didn't have bottles. You know, they had breast milk. And that has been centuries and centuries, years and years ago, and we still surviving. We still struggling. We still into this Black Lives Matter. But you know what? It wouldn't be no Black lives if it wasn't from the breast milk. Okay? Because the breast milk is what has sustained us. Breast milk is what has made us strong. The breast milk is what has educated us and what has brought families together. So we have to always remember who we are. And we have to tell our daughters, you know, expose them to breast milk. This has to be generational. You know, you have to start telling your sons' wives, your sons' girlfriends, you know, I breastfed my son, you know, you need to try it. Support them. This movement is going to be here forever. This breastfeeding movement is going to be here forever. We cannot let it die, because if we let this breastfeeding, this Black breastfeeding movement die, we will die as
Miss
and
Bosman.
continue, you know, to these girls. And I just would like to say, Mommies, Babies, Bellies, we are just so proud of these young women for just taking the strength and honoring their bodies enough to breastfeed, because it's not an easy task.
When you does anybody know anyone who is pregnant right now? Anybody know any woman who's pregnant right now? I want you to take the initiative, and particularly this week, to invite someone, tell them about the Sister Circle. Everybody has a cell phone. I want to charge everybody to tell at least one pregnant mom or one new mom, someone who's just delivered their baby, about the Sister Circle. Invite them to come on our Sister Circle Zoom. What we also want you to do, we have 3 social media platforms. One is our website, very easy, www.healthyheartsplus2.com, and they can click on the link, Mommies, Bellies, Babies, and Daddies. And we also have a Facebook page, Mommies, Bellies, Babies, and Daddies. Drive people to our Facebook page so they can see what it is that we're doing. And most recently, we also have a YouTube channel. So you can also invite them all under the same name, Mommies, Bellies, Babies, and Daddies. So when you're doing your videos and you're doing your photos, tag it, like it, drive people to the social media pages so they can see what we are doing. We're in this unfamiliar place during a pandemic, but I've seen it as a blessing for us in a way. It has given us an opportunity because we can still connect with each other over social media. We still are able to provide you with the nutritious meals that you get from us every Tuesday. So we're still able to connect with each other. But at the same time, this gives us an opportunity to branch out onto social media so we can reach more women, more communities, more families. So we want each of you to take the initiative to kind of be an ambassador. Be an ambassador for Mommies, Bellies, Babies, and Daddies. And I know you all can do that, especially, and let's start this particular week, Black Breastfeeding Week in August of 2020, to be ambassadors. Tell somebody, share it with someone. Tell somebody for the rest of this week why you chose to breastfeed and you're a Black mom, because I still don't quite get it, what it is about why people don't believe that Black women breastfeed their babies. But we do. We absolutely do. So what we're going to do, we got about 6 minutes left. So I want to go around to each one of you, and then we're going to do this collectively together. I want to go around to each one of you, and I just want you to just, once again, I want you to say how important it was. Maybe use it in one word or one sentence. Use one sentence about what Black Breastfeeding Week means to you personally. You can use one word or one sentence. And for Cameron, she can either type it or show it on the screen, because we know we're having some technical difficulties over there. So we're going to start in the top left-hand corner with Miss Nikki. Oh my girl, you're looking kind of rough.
Well, it's important. Yes, I feel rough, but all in all, I'm almost there.
You're beautiful at the same time. You look like a mom who's about to just blossom like a flower. How about that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I did my hair, got it ready for induction. I'm ready to evict.
All right. So tell us in one sentence or one word, what does Black Breastfeeding Week and being a breastfeeding mom who's Black means to you?
What it means to me is my heritage. It's my bloodline. It's continuance. That's what I look at it as, passing the torch.
All
All
right.
my children witnessed it, so now they know.
Awesome. Brianna, I'm going to toss it to you. What does this week mean to you?
For me, being a Black breastfeeding mother is just, other than like what Nikki said with the bloodline and our heritage, it really represents our strength. Because being a mother, the process of delivery, the decision to breastfeed and sticking with it, all of these are very difficult decisions. They're hard, but it's nothing like it, you know. And I don't understand why they say Black women don't breastfeed, because we do. I mean, I think it's just one of the many stigmas that are put against us to try to tear us down or make us forget who we are and the strength that we really have. But we are powerful. We are a powerful people. Women are powerful, and to me, it's just representative of what we can do and the generation that we can raise up. We're raising young kings and queens, you know, building empires. And it's not surprising that they want to take that knowledge away from us so that we can't reach our full potentials. But even if it's being celebrated by others for 1 week, it's celebrated by us every single day. So if they only want to give us that 1 week, that's fine. But we take it every day of the year, and we make something beautiful with it.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Miss Tanya. All righty. What does it mean to you to be a Black breastfeeding mom?
Kind of exactly what Nikki and Brianna said. They nailed it. The power, strength, like they say, heritage.
Awesome. Awesome. So what we're going to do in we got about 3 minutes. I'm trying to find Karan and Miss Bosma, Miss Lynetta. I'm not sure what happened to them. But what we're going to do for the next 2 minutes is we are going to just think about what we can do, how we can continue to push this message forward. Because believe it or not, it's stigma. But right now, there's a huge movement that's going on as it relates to health equities and justice for Black women, especially when they're about to deliver a baby and through their pregnancies. You may have read some about it. You may have heard some things about it, but a mother's justice is very important. And that's something our founder and our president, Dr. Alice Freeman, talks about all the time. A mother's justice and how important that is. And what that means, we should have control over our own health, our own bodies, our own minds, our own spirits. And we need to learn to take care of each other. It takes a village. It takes a village not just to raise a child, but it also takes a village to raise children in a supportive environment and to support our Black mothers, our Black families. We have to do it. We have to do it ourselves. So what we're going to do as we plan to end, I want everybody to make sure they're looking into the camera, looking nice and bright and everything, looking into the camera. And I'm going to admit Lynetta back in. Let me see. Let me bring her back in before we close. Okay. There she is. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to look into the camera because there are going to be some people who are going to see this video. And we want to look into the camera. We want to encourage every Black mother that sees this segment. We're going to wish them happy Black Breastfeeding Week. So y'all ready? Let's do it on 1, 2, 3. Happy Black Breastfeeding Week. We love you, Black women. We love you, Black babies, and we love you, Black daddies. So you all have done an awesome job. I am so extremely proud of each and every one of you. Continue to pass the word to somebody else. Everybody knows somebody who's pregnant. So let's pass that word, okay? All right.